Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. Today we are going to talk about the deep sea, the ocean, what we don't know, how much we do know, and we're also going to be talking about that same thing with space, what we do and do not know, and the moon landing, real or fake or setup. So you want to start with the deep sea? Like, I'll start with the deep sea.
Yeah.
Okay, so the deep sea is one of the least explored and most mysterious environments on Earth, which you may or may not know. Okay, I didn't even know this, that it covers more than 60% of the planet's surface. We have mapped only a small fraction of it.
Yeah, like nothing. We know nothing.
So, this talks about the environment of the deep sea. It's characterized by high pressure, near freezing temperatures, and complete darkness. I knew the darkness, and I knew it got cold, but I didn't know it went down to freezing temperatures, about 1 to 4 Celsius, or 34 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like literally, that's like almost freezing.
Yeah, that is very cold.
Pressure increases by 1 atmosphere every 10 meters of depth.
We can't even go all the way down. That's part of the reason we don't know, like, everything
Which is
about
crazy.
We can't literally survive down there.
I don't know how far we've gotten down. I will ask that question. But it increases by 1 atmosphere every 10 meters of depth. So the Mariana Trench? About 11,000 meters or 36,000
Well, did you ever see that movie 45 Meters Down? Where, like, the girls, like, basically they go shark diving.
Okay, yeah, but I didn't see it.
No, but like in that movie, they kind of like talk about like how the pressure increases as you go down, because basically they get on like some sketch boat with these randos, and like the line breaks and they fall down to the bottom.
Absolutely not.
No,
I can't do the deep sea.
And they're running out of like air, and the Coast Guard is supposed to come. You would like that movie.
Yeah, except for I'd be so scared.
But yeah, no, that shit's scary as fuck.
So, it's known as the Twilight Zone, which is the mesopelagic zone. I didn't know it was called the Twilight Zone. That's where minimal light reaches the area, and photosynthesis is impossible.
So, like, everything down there runs off of something else. Because it can't run off of something.
Like, what the heck can it run off of?
We don't know what's down there is, like, my point.
Like, these scariest things in the world are down there.
My thing is, like, also there's a theory that, like, because of global warming, things that were frozen, I don't know if this is just, like, the ocean or if it's, like, lakes, too, but things that were frozen are becoming unfrozen, and then, like...
Yeah. And then just, like, coming to life.
I'm sorry. Are there dinosaurs in the ocean?
I'm scared.
And also, like, big things are starting to, like, wash up, and, like, what is killing the big things that are washing up?
Right. No, literally.
I don't know. That really fucks me up.
So that was 200 to 1,000 meters. The bathypelagic zone is 1,000 to 4,000 meters, known as the midnight zone. This is total darkness. Pressure is extremely high, and life has adapted to these harsh conditions. Life has adapted to these harsh conditions.
That's why everything really deep in the ocean is, like, bioluminescent. Like,
I love that, though.
Like, glowing in the dark.
I love
like,
that.
Oh, we can't see.
They're like, so we have to glow.
I guess we just have to evolve to glow because we
That's
can't
awesome.
See. That's so sick.
Abyssopelagic zone, 4,000 to 6,000 meters, covering much of the ocean floor. This zone is pitch black, cold, and home to many strange adapted creatures. This is getting creepier. In the hatiopelagic zone, 6,000 to 11,000 meters, found in deep sea trenches. This is the most extreme environment on Earth, where life is sparse but resilient.
What do you mean resilient? They don't even know because they haven't been down there.
I don't know.
That's so crazy.
Oh yeah, it's talking about bioluminescent organisms, anglerfish, certain jellyfish, and squid. They create their own light through chemical reactions, using it to hunt or communicate. I love bioluminescence. I think it's so cool.
It's so fucking cool.
Many creatures exhibit gigantism.
Oh, they get big.
Yeah, both adaptations to extreme pressures and lack of food. Hydrothermal vents. Oh, discovered in 1977, hydrothermal vents are cracks in the ocean floor where heated water from beneath the Earth's crust rises. These vents are home to unique ecosystems powered by chemiosynthesis instead of photosynthesis. Life here includes 2 worms, giant clams, and unique bacteria that thrive in the extreme heat and toxicity around the
Like,
vents.
imagine dying and, like, coming back as a unique bacteria in that fucking portion of the ocean. I would kill myself.
Oh my god.
I, like,
Fuck.
can't.
If you have the consciousness to be like, this is where I ended up, this is
sucks.
how.
Like, ew. But I guess they love it. They, like, thrive. They're like, yum, yum, yum.
So yeah, what we don't know about the deep sea unexplored terrain, it is estimated that over 80% of the deep sea ocean remains unexplored. 80% just sounds crazy.
For us to have been here that long.
Right.
For us to know more
And with the
about
technology
space,
that we
like,
have.
It's actually so scary.
More than 80%. There are likely undiscovered mountain ranges, volcanic activity, and underwater ecosystems that we have never seen. Scientists believe that millions of species remain undiscovered in the deep sea. We've only just begun to understand the adaptations of life in the deep sea. That is so crazy.
And it's because that's like a whole different world. It basically is space. Like, we don't breathe water. Like, so everything down there, like, it takes an extra step to understand. Whereas, like, I don't know, like, animals, mammals on land, like, we can relate to them because we're also mammals. So we're like, okay, that's a mammal. We know that. But, like, when you start to get to, like, fish that can, like, that have human teeth, or, like, blobfish, or, like, those fish that, like, light up, or, like, those parasites that go in, like, the one fish that is, like, a woman, and then it parasites a man so that she can, like, get her eggs, whatever. I think that's the anglerfish also. Like, I think the
Like,
anglerfish
reproduce itself?
Yeah, it's like the male version of it is so tiny, and it basically just goes in its gills, and then, like, yeah, I don't fucking know. That shit's weird as fuck. I don't know. It's so strange.
Let me see.
Curious if you guys are more afraid of the ocean or space.
Or the space, yeah.
Because that's, like, a good, conversation starter.
What would you say for yourself?
I always say the ocean, because it's literally just, like, I don't know. I mean, there's different scenarios that you can bring up, right? Like, you can be like, okay, well, would you rather be stuck in the ocean or stuck in space? And it's like, honestly, at that point, they're kind of the same.
Yeah,
like,
no,
like,
literally, it is like
space
this.
sucks because you're not even on the planet, so it's like, who's gonna come and get you?
That's true.
So that sucks. But I'm like, if we're not talking about these scenarios and we're just talking, like, based off of, like, knowledge, I would say, yeah, I'm more afraid of fucking the ocean. Like, because even if you're a really strong swimmer, you can't, like, out swim. Like, have you guys ever seen those fucking videos on TikTok of the North Sea? Where the waves are, like, so fucking high, and there's, like, that fucking audio
that sound,
like,
yeah.
Yo.
That scares me.
Thieves and beggars. It's so
It
fucking
scares
scary.
me so bad. Where is the North Sea?
In the north.
Right, but what?
No,
I'm trying to... Is it, like...
I don't fucking know.
I feel like it's near Europe, to be honest.
It's so fucking scary.
Can you...
Oh, yeah.
Will that go
Sorry.
away if you Google it?
No.
I feel like I want to say it's near Europe for some reason. Not sure why. Yeah.
Yeah, Northern Europe.
Wow.
Between the following countries. Norway, Denmark, and then Scotland and England.
Good. So far away from here. I wonder if I flew over that when I went to Europe. I'm so scared.
Also, like, the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, wait.
Oh my god. The Bermuda.
Now I'm getting hot.
Limited human exploration. This is just what we were talking about. Very few people have descended to the deepest parts of the ocean, and those missions are rare. In contrast to space exploration, deep sea exploration has received far less funding and attention.
It's also because, like, regardless of funding, it's like I think it's hard to fund. But I guess you could say the same thing about, like, space. Like, they have so much equipment to be able to survive out there.
It says advances in robotics, AI, and sensor technologies will likely play a major role in increasing our understanding of the deep sea.
we could send fucking a robot camera down there.
That's true.
But I'm like,
but when it explode from the pressure,
that's what
at
I'm
some
saying.
point,
No matter what, at some point, it's gonna just like implode from all the pressure.
Yeah.
Because it's not used to it. I'm just confused on how they even. Like, imagine somebody who's like, what if we like go off this planet? It's like, bitch, shut up. But now we actually have like the space station and like people who like go and explore in space. So I'm like, that just sounds like such an outlandish idea, though, because it's like where do you even start with that when you know you can't like survive out there?
Big bodies of water honestly terrify me. Something about being in a boat in the middle of the ocean, like a cruise ship.
In
absolutely
what
not.
world do I need to go on a cruise?
No, I don't.
My mom was asking me, she was like, would you ever go on a cruise? And I was like, no.
No, me either.
I was like, never say never. Like, I might if it's like a really short one, but I'm not trying to go on like. What am I doing on a cruise ship that I can't do at a resort?
I know.
I don't understand. The whole thing is that you have like a view of the ocean from like, the middle of the ocean, but it's like I really don't need.
I don't need
that.
that.
Like,
I can have a view of the ocean.
I actually don't need
from
that
the sand.
At all. Like, I'm so confused as to where I need to like be on a cruise ship.
And people are like, well, you get to go to different like
all
places.
The festivities are on the cruise ship, but
yeah.
I could do that on a plane.
You get off for one day at an island, and then you get back on. And you go
it's
to a
literally,
different island,
and then
like,
you're basically at a hotel that floats.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Except
I just don't trust anything after the Titanic.
Right. No, literally.
I do not trust a thing after the Titanic.
Especially people who choose to go on cold cruises. Like in the Arctic. How is that fun?
Well, those are cheaper, I heard.
They are. But what are you doing? You can't even go out, leave your room without being cold. So what are you doing?
That sucks.
And Bray went on a cruise and she was like, oh, it just kind of like rocks you to sleep. Absolutely not.
Why is it rocking?
Like,
you are a large ship. Why are you rocking?
Just like kind of sways you to sleep. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to get off the ship and be swaying for days.
Science exists. I've seen people explain it multiple times. I will still never understand how a ship can float.
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand.
I know.
Obviously, its density has to be less than water, and I guess there's a lot of like rooms and whatnot. But it's just like you're floating right now. Because you look at the whole big thing, you see the tiny part that's underneath the water.
I know.
How did they do that?
Floating?
Like, I don't believe you. I don't
get that either.
I don't believe it.
I also don't really get how planes fly, but
planes make way more sense to me than like a fucking ship. Like the Titanic. How did the fucking Titanic float? Well, it didn't.
Well, it didn't.
It didn't.
It eventually
and that's
sank.
the tea.
That's the tea. I don't get it. Maybe Google how boats float. Have you already done that before?
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense.
It explains. It
Wait,
does
let's
make
see.
sense, but it like doesn't make sense when you look at it. That's what I'm saying. No matter what you hear about it, it's like you look at it and you're like, that doesn't this doesn't fucking track.
Yeah, right? This wants to say cruise ships float based on the principles of buoyancy and displacement, which are explained by Archimedes' principle.
It's like, shut up. Like, what do you mean? That
Any object submerged in a fluid like water experiences an upward force or buoyant force equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object.
Because my body struggles to float sometimes.
That's true.
So how is the boat
buoyant
floating?
enough? But how is the boat buoyant?
I'm surprised I'm not buoyant. I eat a lot of salt.
A cruise ship, though massive, floats because it displaces a large amount of water. What do you mean it displaces it?
Oh.
The ship's hull is designed to displace enough water.
So water displacement is like if you have like a glass and it's half full of water. If you stick your whole fist in it, the water might overflow. That's displacement. So I guess the ship is like moving water elsewhere.
Okay.
So I don't really get how that would make it float, but
the ship's hull is designed to displace enough water so that the buoyant force pushing upward is equal to or greater than the weight of the ship pulling it downward.
Okay.
So the same thing that you just kind of explained with your fist in the water?
I think, but I need somebody to explain it.
So it's mostly hollow inside.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like the density, in order for something to float, it has to have a density less than water, which is like 1 something. Like, and that's just
sometimes
density.
I feel like we're not supposed to understand science like that. Like,
it's so fascinating though.
It's fascinating,
once you do,
but like
even if
sometimes
you would just understand it for 30 seconds, because like I said, it's been explained to me a million times, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. But it's like you look at it and you're like, the way that is real and can happen is fucking crazy.
Well, I guess it's because the water is so deep and big.
Like, it's kind of like the way that, like, you can get, like, iron shavings from a bag of cereal. Did you ever do that in school?
What did you say?
Where they would, like, take, like... Cheerios or fucking Frosted Flakes or something, and then crush it up and like do all this shit to it and basically extract like the iron that's in it. And it's like,
I didn't even know that could happen.
Why is there, I don't, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I did the thing, it makes sense, I followed the instructions, it was explained to me, and it all makes sense, but I still can't believe that that's a thing that can happen. And that's what I mean by science is magic.
Right.
Because it is. Because what? Because why did I make mustard gas on accident?
What? How? When?
I mixed bleach and ammonia. Do not do that.
And what does it do?
It makes mustard
What
gas.
does that mean? I forget.
I don't know. But all I know is that I was cleaning, like, something. And I was like, okay, you know what? If I want it really clean, sometimes you use ammonia, sometimes you use bleach. I was like, I want it really clean. I'm going to use both. And then something in my mind right after I had mixed them already was like, wait, you probably shouldn't do that. And then, like, smoke started happening. And I, like, had to dump it out on the grass, and the poor grass was probably, like, sizzling.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, and then I looked it up, and it was like, yeah, ammonia and bleach make mustard gas. And I was like, not me making, like, fucking mustard gas on my front lawn.
God.
I'm like, what the fuck?
That's
like,
crazy.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
This just freaks me out.
No, it's so weird.
In essence, cruise ships float because they are designed to displace enough water to balance their enormous weight, and their design maintains stability even in challenging ocean conditions. No, because what if I'm on a cruise and they're like, we have a storm coming or there's a hurricane?
Apparently it's a good thing to be on a cruise when there's a hurricane, because then you can actually move away from it. Like, if they know it's coming, because hurricanes don't just, like, pop up out of nowhere. Like,
no, I know.
People know about them, like, weeks in advance, so you can actually move away.
But why? But storms, no. Why do I want to be on a cruise when there's a storm happening?
If the water starts going like this, I'm gonna regret everything.
And you're in the middle.
I'm gonna be like, give me my money back. Pull up at a dock right now.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
there's sunburnt.
There's no reason I need to go on a cruise. Okay, so yeah, now that we're scared of the deep sea,
yeah,
we'll dive into space. And
we know that we don't know much.
Yeah,
we'll dive into space.
So we only know 20%, if that. Crazy.
Okay.
Which, wait, knowing 20% literally is just knowing.
Basically, we know it's there.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We know it's there, and we
know it's there. We know there's fish.
We know
it's
the
actually
visible
scary
species.
because we know so. I took an oceanography class in high school, and I learned so much. And by I learned so much, I don't mean like I retained it. I just mean like there was a lot of material to actually learn, and that probably was just like.
That's
also
only
just brushing the surface, because
right.
It wasn't like, it was an oceanography class, but it's not like, there's people that are marine biologists, you know what I mean? So it's probably nothing. The percent of what I learned about the ocean was probably like 20%, and then even that was so much. So I'm like, it's crazy to know that we know so much about the ocean, but everything we know is just like 20% of it.
Right.
Like, oh my god, that's so scary.
Like, you could go on so long
that's
about the
so
ocean,
scary.
but only knowing 20%.
So scary. Okay. So, first of all, what we know about space is that it's vast. So
you said vast?
Vast.
Okay.
Yeah. So the universe is nearly infinite, and even though we've made great strides, we've only explored like a fraction of it. So we still don't know everything about space, because we literally can't. We can't send people into black holes and expect them to come back and be like, okay, this is
Here's
what
a report
happened.
of what happened.
Like, they're not coming back is the thing. Like, time and space is just not like that. So, basically... Oh, yeah. So we've, like, identified black holes, dark matter, dark energy, gravitational
dark matter?
waves.
Sounds
yeah,
so
like,
scary.
all of that stuff. And space exploration has been propelled by, like, a bunch of, like, efforts around the world. And there's, like, a bunch of companies that, like partially, like, NASA, and, like, there's one called SpaceX, apparently, that really contributes to, like, all the knowledge that we have about space. But yeah, what we understand about space is, like, things through missions like the Apollo missions and Mars rovers and, like, asteroid exploration, like, basically just sending things and robots, like, out there. Like, you know, the Mars rover, like, sings happy birthday to itself every year.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
It's actually
Why?
so sad.
That's
people, like, talk about it on the
is
internet.
It there? Is
like,
it on Mars?
It's on Mars.
So it sings by itself?
Sings,
that's so sad.
No, everybody on the internet's like, rip the Mars rover. Like, why does it have to sing itself happy
yeah,
birthday?
why are they
like,
doing
so
that?
Sad.
Not them trying to make us feel pity for it.
I know, it's literally a robot, and it feels, like, so bad. But yeah, okay, so then our biggest cosmic theory is like the Big Bang Theory, which most of you have probably heard of. It's just essentially like the Earth happened because of like a large like energetic event where like everything just like exploded and then like the universe was created. Theories of multiverses and quantum physics show that we are like developing better ways to understand space, but like we still don't know everything about space, and like where it came from or how it started.
Where it came from
because
so
my
crazy.
thing is like we're in space and we're on like a small planet in space. So like where does space end? And does it end? And no, it doesn't.
I don't know. I think it's infinite.
Like,
but
I think it's infinite because I don't think it makes sense for it to end. And if it were to end, where would we be?
Like there's no beginning and end of
no,
it.
There isn't. So yeah, despite everything, we still don't know like key elements like dark matter and dark energy. Like some of it we don't know, and then there's still basically NASA's still trying to get like funding to like go out there and like learn stuff and do stuff and like find shit out. So we've explored far beyond our planet, and we still just don't know anything because because everything is limited compared to like because of how vast everything is. It's kind of like the ocean where it's like there are parts that are so deep that we can't even go down there to learn about them, and like space, there's parts that are so like dangerous that we can't send people in there to like learn about it, or even if we did, we're not going to get anything back.
Right.
Like, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. Like, we can't send something into a black hole and be like, yep, it's going to come back. Like, it's just not going to come back. It's a black hole. Like, whatever. So I want to talk about the conspiracy about the moon landing, because a lot of people think we never even landed on the moon, and I think there's good reason to think that we never landed on the moon. That being said, if there was some way for me to find out, like, actually right now if we did or didn't, I don't think either way I'd be surprised. Like, if we did, I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But if we didn't, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Like, I think this is probably a conspiracy theory that, like, makes sense. So, before I get into the moon landing, why people think the moon landing might be fake, I want to get into why people think the government may have faked the moon landing, which sounds like the same thing, but those are two different things. So, people think that, like, because, right, if the moon landing's fake, it's like, okay, well, why would they have faked it? So this is the reason why people think they might have faked it. One is that they wanted to win the race to space, which is, like, basically during the Cold War, the U.S. was in competition with the Soviet Union for, like, space exploration. So the Soviets, like, had a bunch of early, like, victories, like, almost getting to the moon and stuff like that. They set out, like, Sputnik, which was the first satellite, and then they sent out the first human into space. But America was like, okay, if we land on the moon, then we've literally, like, claimed the territory, which is, I think, like, even in the
it's such an American thing to do.
It is. They're like, we have to get there first, and we claim it. And I think they put the American flag on the moon, which is so fucked up. Like, why are you littering? Like, you just got there, and you're littering. Like, I can't. So, yeah, it literally, like, a successful moon landing would demonstrate American superiority and restore national pride. Like, I think we have enough national pride. It's fine. But yeah, we've been out because we were outpaced in, like, other milestones. Like, we didn't send anybody out, which is kind of part of the reason why it's like, okay, we didn't do any of that other shit. Like, they, like, were inching their way in, and all of a sudden we were able to just land on the moon like that. Okay, a second reason. Well, it's kind of like the same, but political prestige and global influence. Like, landing on the moon would elevate the U.S.'s position in the Cold War, but also showcase the country's technological and economic prowess to the rest of the world. So it's a way to, like, show that, like, yeah, basically, like, the fucking American flag's on the moon, your country's flag is not on the moon, so, like, obviously we're the best country. Like,
it's ours.
Dude, countries are... Yeah, and then it would also justify, like, the huge space program budget. So basically NASA's Apollo program cost billions of dollars, and then some conspiracy theorists believe that if the U.S. government couldn't actually land on the moon, they would have been motivated to fake it in order to justify spending and maintain public support for the program, which kind of makes sense too. They're like, okay, people won't even give us money to even get on the moon, so, like, what if we just show them, like fake a video, like, we made it on the moon, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, we have to give NASA money. Like, so
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very American thing to do.
Failure. Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it does just make sense. And then also, people say the moon landing could have been a distraction from other national issues. So, the moon landing happened in the 1960s, and it was, like, a really, like, hard period for the U.S. with, like, Vietnam War, civil rights, and everything. And so, a successful moon landing could have, like, served as a way to unify everybody, like, bring everybody together. Like, look what we did! Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
A symbol of national achievement, boost morale during a time of, like, instability. Yeah. Oh, and then although it's developed after the moon landing, the Watergate scandal in the early 1970s caused a wave of distrust toward the U.S. So, I mean, I don't really get why this would be relevant if it was after the moon landing, but, like, it's on here. So, basically, people are like, if we can help people trust the government again, which is, like, to me, NASA is separate from the government.
Right.
Even though they are funded, because they're funded by the government, kind of, but, like, they're separate from the government, because they aren't, whatever. So, yeah. So, those are a couple of reasons why people think the government would have faked a moon landing. But let's talk about why people think the moon landing was fake. Okay. So, the key claims are the key claims are here. First one being stage footage. Okay, so conspiracy theorists argue that the moon landing footage was shot on Earth, possibly in a studio or a remote desert, directed by filmmakers like Stanley Kubrick. Not him being like, yeah, I directed the moon landing. Oh my god, I'm dead. Okay. So the American flag waving in a vacuum. So one of the most cited proofs is the way the American flag appears to flutter in the videos.
Right.
Which they claim wouldn't happen in the vacuum of space. Like, where is the wind coming from? But I'm like, wouldn't it though? Couldn't that happen?
I don't know.
Because I'm like, wind happens here and we're
right.
in space.
Right. I
guess the moon is a different, like, atmosphere.
Right, but none
gravity.
of us are educated to actually know that. The only people that would know that are the people that are going to space or studying space.
And of course they're gonna say, like, it would wave around, but it's like you can't even stand up. Like, the moon is zero gravity, so you can't even, like, nothing stays. So I don't think it would, like, based off of, like,
true.
How it would, whatever. Okay.
Do you think it would flutter?
I don't think it would.
Oh, I don't know.
I think watching the video, because I remember watching that, like, when people first started talking about it, like, watching the video and being like, that does kind of look bad. I'm being like, if that is the moon, like, it looks bad. Like, even if it is the moon, like, that looks weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So the third thing is, like, shadows and lighting. Okay, so the way the shadows fall in some of the photos is said to be inconsistent with the single light source, the sun, leading theorists to believe that artificial lighting was used. There was a point in the video, too, where you can see in the astronaut's, like, reflection of, like, his thing, like, something that looks like a studio light.
No.
It literally looks so crazy. Yeah, so people are like, yeah, it was in a studio. So then the main thing that people talk about is that there's no stars in the photos. They're like, okay, wouldn't there be stars if you're in space? But I'm also like, this is the 1960s.
Okay,
like,
is this when it was filmed? I was going to ask you what year that they would have faked it.
Yeah, I think it was, like, in the 60s, yeah.
So if it was in the 60s, they also wouldn't be, like,
the best cameras. But it's also like, how did you even get on the moon and film it in the 60s, though?
Right.
Like, if you can't...
But,
I don't know. I'm kind of confused because I'm like, there would be stars, like, literally everywhere.
Yeah. Also, in the 60s, there definitely was, like, room for them to fuck up. Like, oh, shit, we forgot you could see it in the reflection of his helmet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they were like, okay, it's just going to be dark in space, right? You know what I mean? Like, they put a little black curtain up. They think they did it. And then everybody's like, wait, where's the stars? Like, where's the stars? Like, I'm confused. Okay, so yeah, the moon landing photos show no stars in the sky, leading some to argue that NASA couldn't recreate the correct star positions in a fake backdrop. They were like, just fuck the stars. Fuck the stars. We can't make the stars look real, so fuck the stars. That's funny.
They were like, oh my god, we didn't think of half the shit that Americans are calling us out on now.
So, radiation. The Van Allen radiation belts surrounding Earth are another point of contention. So skeptics claim that astronauts couldn't have survived passing through these without lethal exposure to radiation. That, I'm going to argue, even though I don't know what Van Allen radiation is, because I'm like, we literally go to space all the time. So I'm like, if it's a belt that's surrounding Earth, it's like, that doesn't really... we leave all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? In other ways. So I'm like, I don't know. Also, protection. Like, we're in a ship.
Right.
In an outfit, in a ship.
In an outfit.
Like, we probably are fine from radiation. But, like, the rest kind of... Okay. So, NASA's response. NASA and other experts have debunked these claims extensively. They explained that the flag appeared to wave due to the momentum from astronauts handling it. I don't know about that one. You're saying it just kept going because
when they
put it down. Anyway, and the lack of stars in the photo is due to camera exposure settings designed to capture brightly lit lunar surface.
I mean,
that makes sense because stars are so small.
Yeah, like, we can barely capture them on our phone.
So I'm like, that makes sense. It just was like completely barren. Like, I would think you could see like maybe like one or two.
Right, especially in space.
Yeah, on like a smaller planet.
Can you now?
It's a smaller planet than ours. Can you see what?
Like,
I think so.
Like when you're in space now.
Can you see stars?
Stars.
Yeah.
In space.
They have so many pictures. They have pictures of stars in space. I don't get it. The 60s was not that long ago.
But long enough.
It was long enough.
Long enough ago for, like,
I guess,
camera quality.
Yeah. Okay, so the differing shadow angles can be explained by the uneven terrain and a wide angle lens used. It just feels like all the excuses that they have, none are like they're all just like, no guys, it, like, obviously is just because of the angle. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. So, what do you guys think about the moon landing? Essentially, did we fake it or not? I feel like we definitely could have. But I also feel like we could have landed.
But do you think if we faked the first one, that the rest are fake or real?
No, but I think it was literally just trying to win the race.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm thinking too.
That we got there. But it's also so fucked up because I'm like, if somebody else got there and then found out like the American flag wasn't actually on the moon, are we the only ones ever going to the moon?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up, guys.
Yeah. Also, what was my question? Do you think we'll ever find out?
I don't think there's any way for us to find out because it's space. I think that's why it was a perfect thing to lie about, because it's like, well, nobody can be like, I actually have been to space and I've seen, like...
And you're lying.
Okay, so the only country to have landed humans on the moon is the United States during the Apollo missions.
No way.
1969 to 1972. So Soviet sent an unnamed mission to the moon, including successful landers. Wait, I'm confused. So I don't think we're the only one. Oh, they've launched stuff to the moon, but I don't know if I think we might be the only ones that landed.
That's fucking crazy.
Other guys, I might be wrong about that. Please double check that. But other countries are definitely like have lunar exploration missions like in the works. But I'm just like, can we leave the moon alone, TBH? Because if too many people land on her, like, I don't know. Imagine like landing on the moon during like a fucking Mercury retrograde or something.
Oh, absolutely not. I wouldn't even be getting on that.
No. Have you seen the
ship.
videos of like those ships like exploding?
Probably during Mercury.
Oh my God, it's literally so awful.
I would cancel my trip. I don't even like to travel during Mercury. No. I really try to avoid it.
I fucking did. I fucking survived somehow. But yeah, guys. So in short, we don't know a lot about space. We kind of didn't get into like details because there's too many details to get into. But we wanted to talk about like the gist of like each like thing. Because I mean, ultimately we do know more about space than we do about the ocean. But we really don't know that much about each for how much of each exists. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, other planets freak me out. Like, there's a storm on Jupiter that's been happening since, like, we discovered Jupiter.
What? What kind of storm?
It's that little swirl on Jupiter that you see. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, in the photo?
Yes.
Let me see it.
It's a storm.
What kind of storm do we think?
Jupiter storm. Great red spot. So, it's... Okay, not... Guys, Wikipedia's asking me to donate.
Wikipedia's asking you to donate to what? The red storm?
That's a storm.
Oh, shit.
Also, Jupiter is like
Jupiter
50
is so
fucking
pretty.
times the size of Earth.
That scares
That
me.
freaks me out.
Is there a
like, it's so big.
You can't. It has no atmosphere, right?
I don't know.
Meaning you can only land on it.
I don't think anybody can land on it. I don't know. Okay.
Wait, why do I feel like I'm so confused that we were the only ones to get to the moon?
I don't know if we were. That was. I don't know.
Imagine we got to the moon and we were like, "Yep."
Okay, no,
and
because
then everyone else
that's
just gave
Earth,
up.
and then this is Jupiter.
And then Saturn's also huge.
Saturn with the rings.
I know. Like,
so the fun fact, guys, if you guys didn't know, Saturn's rings are made of a bunch of rocks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a bunch of asteroids that are in the orbit of Saturn.
Oh, I have seen pictures, but
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
Uranus and Neptune are like the same size, but
I love
both,
that
like,
they're blue. They're
the
so
only
pretty.
thing like smaller than Earth is like Mercury and Mars.
Venus is the same
Like
size.
Earth is like Jupiter is a scary
Why is
fucking
Jupiter
size. It's like so juicy. It's even bigger than
so
Saturn.
big?
Like, oh my god.
Look up how much bigger Jupiter is. Like how many times?
Oh yeah, wait. They said how? Okay, wait. How? Because I saw a video on this not too long ago. Slow down.
Obnoxious ass. Half your car is gone.
Why are you revving? Like, why would you want to bring attention to that? Okay, so here's the tea, guys. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and you could fit approximately 1,300 Earths inside it.
1,300. So
Like,
1,300?
Yes, this planet
What the?
times
Imagine that.
1,000
No.
plus 300.
I can't even picture this planet.
This feels like such a
1,000
big
times.
planet.
What the?
I actually
I
hate that. I actually hate that so much.
Me too, because think
To
about
put in
this.
perspective, Jupiter's volume is about 1,321 times that of Earth. But since Jupiter is mostly made of gas, it's much less dense than Earth. Wait, it's gassy?
What does that mean?
Wait, does Jupiter...
But could you imagine the fact that we can't even get to every single spot on this Earth in our lifetime?
No.
Let alone...
It's like, imagine living on a
1,000
planet
more
that
times.
big. Like, in comparison, I feel like Earth would literally be, like, a state in the U.S. size-wise compared to the entire... Like, our entire Earth would be, like, a state in the U.S.
Yes.
size on Jupiter.
Yes.
Just one state. Not even a
That's
full country.
crazy.
Like, and it probably, if we're talking a state, we're probably talking Rhode Island.
I was going to say Rhode Island or
Literally. Okay.
Delaware.
So, Jupiter does have an atmosphere. It has a thick and complex
What?
atmosphere. It is primarily made up of hydrogen and helium, with traces of other gases like methane, ammonia, water vapor, and various hydrocarbons. Jupiter's atmosphere is known for its dramatic features, including the Great Red Spot, which is that spot that I was just talking about, a massive persistent storm that's been raging for centuries. Why is there a storm that's happening for centuries on Jupiter?
Centuries is crazy.
Like, when is it gonna end? Like, imagine living in that spot on Jupiter. I would die. Like, why is it...
Doing podcasts like this just really make me think, why do we think it's just normal that we're just here chilling?
Yeah.
We're
And
just
why do we think
working
we're
a
the only
9 to
ones?
5.
No,
and we're
who invented taxes when that spot on Jupiter has been existing for centuries?
Not even that, but no one thinks
Why
it's
are we
trippy
not-
how we ended
No.
up here.
No,
How
because-
we're here right now.
Is that everyone just gonna feel like this is normal?
Just
living?
keep working your job.
Fuck
What do you
off.
mean?
Cloud bands. Okay, so Jupiter's
I'm so
atmosphere is
confused.
divided into several colorful bands of clouds known as zones, light colored and belts, dark colored, which rotate in opposite directions. There's so much going on Jupiter. So the different belts are going in opposite directions while there's that big ass
Storm?
red storm happening, and it's like the size of 1,300.
Why is the storm red?
No, literally, what the hell? Besides the Great Red Spot, many other storms and vortexes occur, creating chaotic weather patterns. I feel like Jupiter is just full of natural disasters.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's all tornadoes and
Yeah,
hurricanes on Jupiter. Like,
is-
everything is just spinning around. But, I mean, if your entire planet is made up of gases going in different directions, yeah, everything's
Yeah.
gonna fucking spin around. I think I would be so fucking dizzy on
Wait,
Jupiter.
but Jupiter in astrology represents expansion and...
Probably because it's big as fuck.
Expansion and what?
I forget.
Some,
the
like,
other thing.
weirdness. Expansion and, like, growth or something.
Yeah.
That is
my
so
God,
trippy.
Jupiter is...
What if you could land on Jupiter? It has an atmosphere.
Oh my God. Wait, can we land on Jupiter?
I can't.
Guys, we are
That's
asking
so
the real
crazy.
questions today. We cannot land on Jupiter because it lacks a solid surface. Jupiter isn't real. It's not a surface. It's not like this. It's all gas. It's a ball of gas.
But it has an atmosphere.
It has an atmosphere, but that doesn't mean it has a land.
Good, whatever.
Jupiter is a gas giant composed of mainly hydrogen and helium.
Wait.
So it's just a bunch of gas.
Look up what planets we can land on. Is it just Mars or
okay,
whatever?
so there's literally no solid surface on Jupiter. So how is it a planet? It's a ball of gas and we're calling it a planet? It's not even a rock. It's literally like somebody burped and Jupiter came out. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God.
I want to know.
Oh my God, temperatures increase drastically as you descend, reaching thousands of degrees, making survival impossible. Trying to land on Jupiter and you just catch on fire. Jupiter's so toxic.
It is. And how is it the expansion growth planet?
That's why they say boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Okay. What planets can we land on? What is a black hole? I want to know. Okay, currently we can land on a few planets and moons in our solar system due to factors like whatever, XYZ. So here's a breakdown. Obviously, we can land on Earth.
Yeah.
We are on Earth.
Yeah.
Mars has been the focus of many robotic landers and rovers, including NASA's Curiosity and Perseverance. Its solid, rocky surface and relatively thin atmosphere make it the most likely candidate for human exploration.
That's the one that everyone's trying to move to if the Earth blows up.
Which is like, I don't want to live there.
I don't need a new planet.
It's basically fucking the Grand Canyon. But
yeah,
like
right.
all over.
No, literally. Like,
we're just dope, but like only for 5 minutes. Okay, and then Venus, theoretically, we could land on Venus. While robotic landers have successfully touched down on Venus, like the Soviet Union's Venera mission. So the Soviet Union's touched down on Venus. Like the they've had robots touch down on Venus, which is different.
Oh, okay. Still, I didn't know that.
The planet's extreme conditions, surface temperatures over 900 degrees Fahrenheit, and crushing atmospheric pressure make it impossible for human landing or long-term exploration.
Okay.
With current technology, any landers would only survive a short time. Moons we can land on. Okay, we can land on Earth's moon. Oh. Which we have, allegedly.
Yeah, but then other moons, though.
Other moons. So we can land on Titan, which is the moon of Saturn.
Oh.
It has a thick atmosphere and a solid surface. The European Space Agency's probe successfully landed on Titan in 2005, making it a target for future exploration. We just be learning shit.
I know.
We can send it, like, to Saturn's moon. Why does Saturn have a moon?
They all have moons,
don't they have, like,
they?
7? Some of them have multiple. Imagine if we had, like, 7 moons. Hello?
I feel like that's broke.
What is she listening to?
No, that's her car. It's electric.
No, that's her music.
No, it's not.
She's just listening to
opera.
No, literally.
No, yeah, every planet has moons, I think. Okay. Most of them. Some have multiple.
Its methane lakes and exotic chemistry offer a unique environment, but extreme cold. That's negative 290 degrees Fahrenheit. Why is everything so extreme? But we randomly got like
the perfect.
But we think it's perfect because this is the temperature we thrive in. Like, what if aliens thrive in 290?
Yeah, that's
They're like,
true.
Ooh, this is our shit right here. Like 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, it makes sense because they would have to adapt to it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, but it's just kind of.
And if they're not made of the same human like composite as us,
it'll be challenging. We cannot land on Jupiter's moon, or we cannot land on Mercury. Extremely hot during the day and extremely cold at night.
I've pictured that.
With no atmosphere to protect the lander, making it difficult for long-term exploration. So Mars and the moon are the most realistic targets for human landing, while robotic missions have already reached some of the harsher environments. I feel so bad sending robots in harsh environments. They're like, I don't want to do this.
They're burning alive.
No, literally burning alive. It's hot here. We're like, oh. They're like, tell us more. That's so crazy. Like, also, justice for Pluto. Pluto's a planet.
I love
Scorpio's
Pluto. It's
ruled
so
by
cute.
Pluto. Like,
can we not land on Pluto?
I don't think so because it didn't list Pluto.
Mention it.
But it's also so small. Like, how?
It doesn't matter. It's still a planet.
No, I mean, like, we couldn't land on it because it's so small.
person is a person, no matter how small. Or near to who.
Earth. Okay.
Earth.
Okay, so Pluto is much smaller than Earth. Here's a comparison. So this means Pluto's diameter is... Okay, wait. Okay, so Pluto across Pluto, like the diameter, if you like cut it in half and go across it, it's 1,477 miles, while Earth's is 7,918 miles. So it's like, yeah.
Like a few states?
Oh, you could fit 100...
Or like a country? Sorry.
Yeah, maybe. You could fit about 151 Plutos inside Earth if you compare the two by volume.
Oh, so it'd be like each country. Right? Don't we have like... Do we have like
yeah, it'd probably be the size of like a country.
Countries or 90?
Like
we have 90
like
something
size,
countries.
Yeah, the size of America is probably like the size of Pluto.
Oh, why is that cute?
That's so cute.
That's so cute.
Oh, I
We
feel
should
like
still
Pluto
name
has
the
such a
land
good
there.
vibe.
I know.
I feel like I just want to hang out on Pluto. Oh my god. Yeah, Pluto is much closer to the size of the moon than it is to Earth. Wow.
Okay, yeah.
Well, should we wrap?
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up a good chunk of space and Earth.
And ocean.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, space and Earth. I meant space and ocean.
Space and Earth and ocean.
Space and
Guys, it's been a day.
Space in the deep sea. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, that's where we're gonna conclude. That was a good pod.
That was a good pod. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot of stuff.
Ocean or space.
Yeah, ocean or space.
Pick a team.
Pick a team. All right. We'll catch you on the next podcast.
See you soon.
Bye.